I don't have to know the ending.
I was gonna say I don't either.
If it's not compelling,
I watched. What is it? What is that Amazon show? Something man in the high castle or something like that.
Man in the High Tower.
Man something.
No, I just said it.
It's Man in the High Tower?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think it has castle.
I think it's castle.
It's the whole Nazis. What if the Nazis won kind of thing?
Yeah.
Which I love. Like,
dang it, Man in the High. Yeah, you were right. Man in the High Castle.
I guess I'm not that way because I never finished that.
I got it. I watched like all of it. And got to the last season and watched like maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the last season. I'm like, I don't care about any of this anymore.
Yeah. Handmaid's Tale, I still haven't finished that.
Never started that one.
No, I've seen everything of Handmaid's Tale. I think it's a very good show. Yeah. I think if it's not compelling enough to keep my attention, I don't care about the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah.
I did just watch 1883, a Yellowstone story, which I haven't really watched.
What is 1883 and what?
1880. It's a Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, like I didn't finish Yellowstone once it got really dumb. I just am off.
Never seen an episode of it.
But people love Yellowstone.
Oh, it's huge right now.
I actually liked 1883 a lot just because it's, Old West. And I was like, the hard life, it seems kind of fun.
There's a different
I really Yellowstone is by Taylor Sheridan, who also did one of my favorite movies, Hell or High Water.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. But the first episode is really good and it's really beautiful. And then I'm like, after that, it just is kind of. So I never finished it. Yeah. Welcome to our podcast where we rate television shows
just talk
we don't
about
like.
Random shows like Sister. Like Sister.
Sorry, this episode brought to you by your dad.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah. I got Step by Step. Suzanne Summers.
Yeah. And what was that guy's name? He was in Dallas.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
Duffy?
Richard Duffy? Phil Duffy?
Patrick Duffy?
Patrick Duffy?
Patrick Duffy?
Patrick Duffy. I don't think that's right.
No. Is that...
No, Patrick Duffy is...
What show is that? Growing Pains?
No, the guy who was I think he was in Dallas, and then he was the dad in Step by Step with Susan Summers. Or Suzanne Summers.
You're right.
Is it Patrick Duffy?
It's Patrick Duffy.
Oh my gosh, I'm terrible with names. I'm on a roll.
Good job.
Wow.
Yeah. I got a new scene for you with
our friend Tom.
With Tom the assistant. You ready for a new scene?
Breakout star Tom.
I'll tell you, there are a few things that we've gotten more comments on with this podcast. One was our conversation early on about glassware in my house.
Oh, really?
That was a big topic of conversation.
Oh, that's funny.
And but lately,
Tom
the assistant, I posted a video of Tom the assistant. Got a quick 8,000 views. So the people have spoken.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's
Give
okay.
the people what they want.
More Tom. They're clamoring for more Tom.
They want more Tom. Are you ready for? All right.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on this bit?
About 5 seconds.
Okay.
All right. All right. If you're not familiar, Tom the assistant, it's the character I play.
Tom needs no introduction.
All right. That's fine.
He's what's driving this whole podcast. Everybody knows about Tom.
That's why everyone's here.
All right. So I'll play Tom.
Okay.
You're the
okay. And
you're the boss.
Boss.
Yeah, you're
Where's
the
this
boss.
happening at? What's the environment
setting?
It's our it's the office that we work in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the cubicle?
My office?
Or?
Are you is Tom in my office or are we just in a common space?
We're in Tom's office right now.
We're in Tom's office.
Yeah.
So the boss is in Tom's office.
It's kind of one of those things where like Tom is the assistant that's like just outside of his office.
Okay. So,
right. So it's
on my way to my office, I'm going to stop in Tom's office.
You're in your office.
I'm in my office.
Yeah, door's open, but you're in your office.
Okay. Is Tom in his office? I'm talking through.
Yeah, it's kind of like, did you ever see Mad Men when it was like the assistant was outside and the door, and so
okay,
like so it's kind of the gatekeeper, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Action.
Ring. Tom here. I'll transfer you. See?
You didn't even sound friendly.
I was waiting to be transferred. I was waiting for the call to be transferred to me. Oh, it's no wonder Tom is the driving force for this podcast. It's just gold nugget after gold nugget.
All right, let's talk about the questions that Tom raised.
Who? I'm dying to know who was on the phone.
You don't know who's on the phone.
Oh,
You don't know if Tom hung up on him.
yeah. Is it just?
Or if he didn't hang up on him, where did he get transferred to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did he just put him on hold and he's just doing other things? That's what I love about Tom. There's so many questions. Oh,
That old Tom, he's a mystery.
he is a mystery.
How do you
mystery man?
How do you like how I did a little improv with you and didn't include
It didn't
you?
include. I did notice that.
I just thought that was on Chris.
I was right about to like enter the scene, but I thought, no, we'll let Tom come to me. And I paid for it.
Oh, when Diana sees us, she's gonna hate it so much.
So she's going to love it.
So she'll love it.
She'll just love it. She'll love it.
She's going to say that guy
I can't
needs his own CW spinoff.
He does.
Tom.
Tom the assistant. All right. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. On that note, welcome to the podcast. Here with Adam Bush.
All right, yeah.
Who plays Tom.
Whoa, please, please. I'm a regular person.
Just a regular person.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm excited for today.
Yeah.
Does this sound like I'm excited?
I think so.
Yeah. We're today. So someone
Today, are you guys not changing your clothes? Same outfit.
Same
we're in
outfit.
the same
Just
outfit.
giving up all.
We have
It'll be fine.
yeah. Next time.
Everyone thought
Next
we
time.
filmed these all.
Does make it hard to edit. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
forget
gets a little
which-
confusing.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
now you can pull, mix and match.
yeah, that's true. we just
I'll be wearing your sweat. We just changed to each other's clothes.
Oh yeah, that's just
Just our pants.
actually we could have just switched seats. It would have been helpful. A friend of ours the other day, Scott Bloom, who listens to the podcast, said, I would like to hear more about what you guys are doing. Because, we did this run of like themes and stuff. And lately we've been talking about our careers. But one of the topics that we talked about was, which is why we had Tom, is how you do characters. So if you're just catching up on the podcast, Chris, Adam, and Gary, I'm a stand-up comedian and Chris is an actor. And as well as a stand-up, I'm not as much of an actor. And then Gary is, for one, he makes the magic happen.
Oh, yeah.
And owns his own business. And we're risking it for the biscuit.
Or the biscuit.
That's what we're doing. And so I thought it'd be fun. You have, if you don't know about Chris has a lot of followers on TikTok and over 100,000.
That's right.
Don't rub it in.
Hey.
And you got those by doing characters on the old
TikTok.
The old TikTok.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because you were the least.
I still don't really know how TikTok works. It's still a struggle to just post a video.
Yeah, you're the least
There's
technically
usually some
savvy person.
frustration involved.
Yep.
Like, why is it not letting me do?
Well, most people don't know this. For a long time, your TikTok was a child's account.
That's true. That is true. When I signed up, they asked for my date of birth. I was like, I don't want to give TikTok all my information.
What they would do
Chris
with
is
it?
a huge
if
privacy
they knew my
advocate.
birthday.
Very big privacy.
Sure, they can have
advocate.
my face.
Right.
Not my birthday.
But not my birthday.
They find that out. Who knows what?
How would, yeah, exactly. So I restricted that information from them, only to find out that I totally handcuffed myself because then I couldn't prove that I was over 18.
Oh, awesome.
And so I was missing out on like I couldn't earn money. Like I couldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't basically.
So like those videos that got like millions of views off at the beginning, no
financial,
no money.
Which TikTok honestly didn't pay in those days.
Oh, okay.
Anything really. It was like 3 cents per 1,000 views, which I would have probably made about $20.
Oh, wow.
Like per million views.
Money now off of TikTok?
I'm still not making money off of them because
you haven't flipped
it can jack if you sign up to be a part of
I've heard that.
the profit sharing, it can jack with
it
your
views. With your views.
And so I kind of was like, I would rather make money through the views. Anyways.
Yeah.
So through selling products and
because people see
other ways,
they order cameos.
building an audience, and then I can earn money that way. But yeah, so I don't get paid for any of the views. But anyways, being a minor, I couldn't sign up for that even if I wanted to. And so, but now they are releasing some new programs and things that sound like they would be a little bit more worthwhile monetarily.
Okay.
And so I have signed up for that. But
is it seems like I read they're coming out with an adults only type of a
for Steven
section.
for Steven Stevens.
After hours.
Steven Stevens after
hours. No, I'm not familiar with that. What I'm familiar with is their
you want to cash in that
top 4%. If you have a video that's in the top 4% of TikTok, they'll pay you more like what YouTube pays, which is like $3 to $5 per 1,000 views.
Have you had any videos in the top
I have not.
4?
Not
How many views are top 4 videos?
I don't even know.
Several million.
I would assume it'd have to be several million.
Yeah,
which I've never had one that big. But anyway, what were we talking about? I'm horrible with technology. So TikTok.
Anyway, but you have all these characters on
TikTok.
Hey, let's do. We'll do a rapid fire hello from each character.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I'll call the character and then you do the. Okay, you ready?
I'd get the voices mixed up, but go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what order do I want to go in. Let's do. So you're saying welcome to the pod, like hello. Welcome
so am I talking to our audience?
Yeah, you talk to the audience.
Okay.
Welcome to the podcast and what you feel about them being here.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Pastor Bobby.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and just, iron sharpens iron. And I think that's what this is really all about is we're hopefully opening up a window of blessing for you to see into, to gain wisdom, to be challenged, and to be admonished. Amen. Thank you for being here. Isn't that good?
Ricky Road.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. Man, sometimes it's a struggle getting your work out there, getting your songs and everything. And so I'm just thankful for you guys to kind of being along for the ride. And, Starla, if you're out there watching, listen, hey, come back home to me because Ricky Rhodes is here and he's waiting for you. So God bless you.
Does Ricky Rhodes chew tobacco?
He does. I don't have the...
Does Ricky Road... Is it Rocky Road?
It's Ricky Road.
No, I know, but is it based on...
Rocky Road ice cream?
Did you think about that when I said it?
I didn't think about that.
MLM Chad.
Man, thank you guys for being here. And listen, if you want to 50 times your life, just follow this guy right here because I'm going places. I can guarantee you that. Okay, so thanks for coming along for the ride.
Last one, Steven Stevens.
Oh, jeez. You guys are too much. Look at all you guys here just following along and appreciate you guys. And I guess what I'm trying to say is hopefully that, through all this, we can make some kind of connection. And so, blessings.
You got into that one so
weird.
fast.
Oh, he was ready for it. Oh, can I throw a couple out of the vault?
Oh my gosh, out of the vault.
Out of the vault. Any female children's pastor.
Thank you so much. Thank you for putting this on. You don't know how much this means to us. You guys have been such a blessing. And it's also Pastor Bobby.
It's the female. It's just like
it's his wife, Pam.
Chad could also be a great teenage girl.
Chad?
Yeah.
How so? What do you mean?
Multi-level marketing, Chad?
Yeah. You had the.
Oh, you're saying
like
if you
do a teenage girl.
Oh yeah. So thank you guys so much, like, for being here. I guess this is kind of crazy, but just to get my face out there and just like get what I do out there, like in front of the people, like that's what I'm about. Like that's really what, like, how I help people is just like being me. So,
Dad, did you ever hear me tell you the story about how when I was in LA, I heard this group of Instagrammy girls, like they were talking, and like the one like leader of
about yummy.
Yeah, she was just like, I'm just always asking myself, like, how can I make this moment yummier? Whether I'm busting out an email or having matcha with a friend, I'm just like, how can I make this yummy? Dude.
That's so good. I forgot about that. Let's just make everything yummy. That's good. Maybe that should be my next character.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah. So we're talking about your characters, but we're going to try to talk about how you make some of your characters.
Sure.
Let me ask this question first.
Yeah.
How do you even get started?
Yeah. So
on a character.
So typically, I there'll be just a little hook or just like a little trigger that will be something that I can say in a particular voice that I just think is funny.
Yeah. So
like I've got this German accent that I do that I can't do a ton of stuff with it, but I just I'm gonna see if I can do it here. So boys and girls. Ooh, this will be fun. So hello, Hans here. Sorry. We're gonna have so much fun here with the boys and girls. So
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Have I done that before? Yeah. So that's just like that's all I have basically for that. And so it's just like a little moment or a little thing that I think is funny. And then I try to just build on that from there. So like with Steven Stevens, the voice was obviously a big part of that. And actually that voice was something, again, like 20 years ago is when I did that.
What was it for?
It was actually for a sketch. He wasn't looking for love. He was just a speech teacher. And I guess we thought it was funny that he had a lisp and he taught speech. But yeah, that was like 20 years ago. And then I just kind of brought back that voice and then to me, like with him especially, I like characters that you kind of like. I want people to like Steven. Like a lot of people, some of the comments are just like, oh, creepy, weird, giving me like serial killer vibes. That's not ever been my vision for Steve. For me, Steven is a nice guy who is just doing what he thinks women want him to do to be like attractive. And he's kind of he's just trying too hard to be super attractive. And so he's like a good-hearted guy who's looking for love. And so I like my favorite comments that I get are when people are just like, I love Steven, even though he's like off-putting. Like, I don't know, that tension is something that's interesting to me. It's like, can I make him like really off-putting, but also like, but I love this guy.
Yeah. It feels like each of your characters have like a blind spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is his blind spot?
I mean, his whole thing is just that. Yeah, you said blind spot. I hadn't really thought of it as a blind spot. I guess what I think about is there's something he really is just desperately wants to be loved and is going at it in ways that I guess you could say is like a blind spot. He's not aware of how like
what'd you say?
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness. That's So I guess that is a lack of self-awareness, I guess would be the blind spot.
But in like a specific area.
Yeah. Yeah. So for him, it's just like too much eye contact. The mouth.
I've never noticed that before.
Mouth noise. Oh, that he just stares you down?
I guess I never really thought about that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's to me
that's the cringy.
Is one of the things that makes silence. Him so off-putting is that he's like staring at you.
Yeah.
And like just stuff like with the one we did about the mistletoe or whatever, he's putting the lip, like whenever someone's looking at you while they're doing something else, it's very off-putting. So next time you put on some lip balm or something like that, just stare into someone's eyes while you're doing it and just feel how uncomfortable it is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. Where did you figure that out?
I don't know. I guess intense eye contact has been a little thing I've used in my characters every now and again.
Okay. Yeah. Intense eye contact. I did
like in invading people's personal space is a huge thing for me. That like that's one way to just make a character feel off, of like he's not understanding social cues. And so how do you do that on a video screen? Well, it's like it's the little too close. The camera's a little too close to his face.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like and it's funny. People have comments about like they pull their face away from their phone when they're watching stuff.
It does. It is always amazing. I'm just like, this is so. I don't know that I've ever thought it as much as felt like he's so close to the.
Yeah, it's like give me some space. It's like you're just invading people's space. So. Yeah, I mean, those are just things that I think about.
But do you do, like, when you do a character, like, when you've done a character in person or live, do you invade people's space?
That's one of the challenges that to do, like, what I do online, doing it live on a stage is I can't invade people's spaces easily. I can't cross those kind of social boundaries.
Yeah.
And so that's part of what I'm trying to figure out is, especially with Stephen. The one time I did do him live, you know, it was what he's saying is funny, but I can't like take it to that next level.
That's hard, yeah.
Of making it uncomfortable or whatever. But
okay, so you've got all right. So his character is built on a spark. You said you had a spark.
Oh, yeah.
And then a blind spot or an area where he's not self-aware.
Yeah.
And then what would that third category be? It's like
I'm looking for anything with Steven. I'm just looking for anything that's maybe odd. And I think I do this with a lot of my characters is just it's like just a weird way of saying something, or like I think of a line that I did where I'm laying in front of a fireplace and I said, I didn't say like every normal person would just be like, I'm just laying here, just experiencing the warmth of the fire.
Okay.
And I said, I'm just laying here experiencing the warmth of the fire upon my skin.
Oh, gross. Oh, gross.
So to say on my skin, it just adds another level of like, oh,
creepiness.
That's a weird way to say that.
Okay, so it's like an attribute that is unique, I guess, is different. Because you wouldn't say that with like Pastor Bobby. He's not doing creepy things, but he does do things that are unique.
Yeah. I mean, with Pastor Bobby, there's a lot of the Pastor Bobby stuff that I think you kind of have to grow up in church to really get, or to maybe understand. Which is really just a lot of the lingo and a lot of the, you've seen other pastors do this stuff. And that's honestly one of the things that I think I struggle with the most is I think at my core, I'm more of just like a mimic. Like I just see things and then like I reproduce those things.
Yeah.
And so I see the way a pastor talks and then I talk like that. Where I struggle with is like actually putting punchlines on that.
Oh.
Because it just mimic it is only so funny. Like I feel like you have to kind of like exaggerate it and then like create scenarios where you can really put a punch on it to make it really funny. I feel like that's one of my biggest struggles is like just mimicking it isn't that funny.
That's interesting you said that. I've never thought about that, like the comparison to comedy before, but I do have a strength, and maybe a lot of comics do, but I do have a strength in premises.
Yeah, no, I've felt that about you for sure.
And I know a lot of times you've mentioned, especially early on, you're really good, Adam, at like finding an arena where a joke would be.
Yeah.
But like I have a harder time like finding the punch.
Sure.
Like the other day, I was in Target and this teenager walked by me and she was saying to herself, I am a special cat. I am a special cat. I am a special cat.
Yeah.
And I was I was just like, well, that's hilarious. But I couldn't figure out, like, that's still just a premise.
Yeah.
And a lot of comics, honestly, like, especially like in my world, that a lot of times they'll say, like, what can I work on? And I'm just like, you got a lot of premises. I don't hear a lot of punchlines.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that you were kind of dealing with that too. What's a punchline? What's a punchline that I'm having a hard time, like, I mean, I guess the one you said that, like, the like, would you say, like, the warmth on my skin? Like, is that
that wouldn't really be a punchline. I guess what I'm saying is, like, I feel like I can create the atmosphere and, like, but, like, to bring it to, like, a hook or like a punch that actually makes someone laugh. So, I'm trying to think of a good example of this.
Like an example, what's a Steven Stevens thing?
So with Steven Stevens, I think maybe it's a little easier because I have a little bit more of a formula with, like, the way he talks and having kind of the shtick of, like, he is putting himself out there. So I'm always like, there's always, like, a big, the main line that it's this clever thing he's come up with of trying to bring the ladies in is the punchline. But, like, with my other characters, Pastor Bobby or Chad, honestly, MLM Chad a lot is just like the atmosphere of, like, an MLM guy and seeing a multi-level marketer, the way they talk, all this stuff. But it's like, yeah, you're just kind of dancing around that idea, and you're not actually making me, you're not actually saying something that actually is a joke.
Right. But what is a Steven Stevens joke?
Well, just like,
oh no, on the one of the last ones I saw, you said, just call me Adam.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because what is it?
Just call me Adam. Call me Adam because I'm looking for a Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Okay.
With John Posey. Shout out to John Posey. He helped me write that.
Oh,
so
pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Our
good.
friend John Posey.
Very
funny. Very funny guy.
Very funny guy.
Yep. Okay. So we've got, like, because maybe somebody else wants to make a character and this will help them. You're looking for it. You got a spark.
Yeah.
Spark was the first thing. What was the second thing I said, Gare?
To create a character.
Yeah.
If we're talking about creating a character, I'm looking for those atmospheric kind of things of just, like, getting in, like, how they talk and, and the cadence and mimicking people I've seen before. And for me, like, a voice or an accent or a tone or, like, my mouth shape is kind of the entryway for me typically to kind of, like, start building the layers on top of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So a little spark and then mimicking something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
usually part of the spark.
Oh, okay. Usually part of the spark. And then a kind of a blind spot. Where is that person unaware, like have a lack of self-awareness?
Yeah. I guess that's,
I think it's true of all your characters. I think that's pretty
true of all my characters.
I've heard like Steve Carell talk about that with Michael Scott. Is like he is lovable, but he's quite a bit unaware of the way that he is.
I think it's like it's like confidently doing. I think it goes back to Dumb and Dumber. Like, that whole dynamic is something that's always deeply resonated with me, which is these guys are idiots, but they don't realize it. Like, they're confidently making decisions and confidently doing what they think they're supposed to be doing, and just making really poor choices. I didn't
even see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what I'm doing usually.
And then it feels like every character has something that they want, which I know sounds silly, but pretty basic of storytelling. But that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steven wants love.
Yeah. Pastor Bobby, honestly, in his mind, he wants to help people. Yeah. So he's saying truths and thoughts and he's here to help. He's here to serve.
Where did you come up with "Isn't That Good"?
It just came out, I think, in one of the first videos. Okay. And it's that idea of, if you've ever done any kind of public speaking, you want to, like, be reciprocated. Like, you want.
Oh yeah. Like amen.
Amen. And so I think, that just kind of came out of, like, you hear pastors say things like that all the time. Like, trying to get like you agreeing with what I'm saying, kind of a thing.
Am I preaching good? Am I just preaching to myself?
Yeah, exactly. Can I get an amen?
Don't shout me down. Yeah.
I guess it just felt a little bit more of like a less obvious way of doing that. But also like the fact that it also has an air of kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? That just makes it more funny to me than just saying like, can I get an amen? Like if it was just like, can I get an amen? Saying, isn't that good? Is also kind of patting myself on the back, which just feels
that's
funny.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's not as like to actually say, "Can I get an amen?" feels like a more legitimate question.
Yeah,
say, "Isn't that good?" It's kind of like saying
so that confidence.
Yeah, it's like patting. Yeah, it's like a I don't know what the word is, but like a when it is when you like a humble brag. Yeah, a humble brag in a way.
Right, because he wrote it.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Isn't that an amazing thing I just said?
Yeah, of course he would think it's good. Yeah. So you've got kind of a pot of like mimicking someone and them being unaware of something about themselves and wanting something just kind of all together. And then do you kind of take all that, how do you work it out? Do you work it out like verbally?
Yeah.
Or do you write or what?
So I usually just work it out verbally. And putting on the costumes helps. Like I have kind of a closet full of stuff that I like. Sometimes with Steven, I know that one the best probably
because you've done him the most.
Yeah, probably where it's not hard for me to kind of get into that headspace. But with some of my newer characters, I try like putting on the costumes and then I'll just start saying things and.
Yeah, MLM Chad is your newest one on TikTok. And so when you kind of started that, what was the spark just?
Yeah, so MLM Chad actually took me a really long time. I've been thinking about that guy for a long time because I was kind of caught in between like fitness culture of like these people that, you know, wake up at 4 a.m. and like, I just finished my 5-mile run and I've always just thought that was kind of like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, why are you sharing your video of you all sweaty? Like, was all supposed to be watching you, applauding you or something. You did it. Way to go. Proud of you. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's very self-serving, I guess, is the way it feels. Like they're coming across like they're trying to help you, but it kind of has this air of like this. I'm also kind of bragging, showing you how disciplined I am. Anyway, some of that, but then also like the business guys that are just like constantly saying these phrases that sound like it means something, but doesn't mean anything. You see a lot of that kind of in the church world as well. So, it kind of started with just like a frustration of just like, oh, these guys that like say things that don't mean anything. And I finally I had to just say, I'm just going to like pick something and go with it.
Oh, okay.
Because I kind of kept getting caught between not knowing who this guy should be. And I played around with him being more of like a fitness guy. And then I was like, I should just pick multi-level marketing and just like go with that. And so
you don't have to work out or get sweaty.
Exactly.
As the character.
I don't, it's easier for me to believe that I have a lot of, or like look like I think I have a lot of money than be like a really fitness guy. Maybe that's part of the joke though. I just have my gut and I'm talking about how much I'm working out. Maybe, and honestly, who knows, maybe that'll be another person, but.
Yeah.
Well, I think Chad can do both.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Could do.
One thing about all of your characters, I think, is they're all ultra confident.
Yeah.
Generally, anybody else.
I just think that's funnier. I think we laugh at people who are, it puts them more in, like we talk about like punching down or punching up. Yep. It's like we're punching up at the people that put themselves on a pedestal.
Punching down in comedy means that you're making fun of people that are in a situation that's more vulnerable than you. Yeah. Or like it would be like making fun of a mentally handicapped person or a child or something if you were something like that. And punching up is like making fun of like a celebrity.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone who so I think the confidence is
or somebody who thinks that they're better.
Exactly.
That would be punching up too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nate Bargatze, the comic, says It's best to punch at yourself.
Yeah.
That's when, and I really enjoy that.
And honestly, I think there are aspects of my characters that are me. Like, I think that it comes out of a place of, like, Steven Stevens is somebody who, like, I mean, I've been married for 20 years now, so it's not like I'm actively out in the dating world, but like that feeling like you don't want to come across like that, or that, like, the fear of like when I was younger or whatever, I don't know, like you would like, I feel like it is an expression of maybe how I kind of saw myself as like, oh, I don't want to come across like I'm like super confident or super like, I think I'm a big deal.
Oh yeah.
And then like Pastor Bobby grew up in the church. I mean, I've over spiritualized things. I've said phrases that are probably meaningless.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I feel like there's a lot of myself in my characters, or, I wanted to get rich quick, Who hasn't? And I've been in a multi-level marketing thing. Like I fell for it. Like me and my wife did that for
I didn't know that.
a short amount of time.
I
don't talk about it.
Is that why you asked me to come over?
Yes.
And actually that's what this whole podcast is about.
That's exactly right.
What was that? We read that script that one time, like about like you can get on the ground floor.
Oh yeah.
And once the market gets saturated.
Once the market saturates, we're all going to be sipping pina coladas on a beach somewhere.
Once the market saturates.
Some people say, they don't want the market to saturate. I say if the market saturates, I'm going to be sipping pina coladas on them.
What do you say to, like, what kind of advice would you give to someone who maybe is just like getting into making characters or acting or anything like this, making their own stuff?
Yeah. I think we're living in an amazing time. When I was 19, 20, 21, I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. Like that was my dream. And now I'm like, I mean, obviously working with the people at Saturday Night Live, they're incredibly talented and like there would be so much growth, but I don't have to get on Saturday Night Live to be able to, share my gift.
Oh yeah.
And that's a really unique time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's never been a time where I feel like it's been so accessible and so easy to get your work out there. Now, that being said, it's also easy to not, how would I say it? Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I grow as much when I'm doing it by myself. Like when I'm just doing what I think I should do and putting it out there, and there's no one coming along being like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that?
Yeah.
So that is one thing that is a downside, but sorry, to get back to what you're asking me is like,
well, hold on. I want to say something about that because something that is unique about being a comedian in Tulsa. We do have comedy clubs here, which I'm very thankful for because there are not that many comedy clubs in America.
Yeah.
And the comedian Graham Kay, who is very funny, came through my home club. And when I was asking him just advice about being a comedian, one of the things he said to me, he said, you've got to get yourself around comedians that are just way better than you.
Yeah.
And that is the benefit of being in New York or Chicago or Los Angeles, is because more people are doing it professionally.
Yeah.
And they're getting up on stage 10 times a week.
Yeah.
And so it just makes you better. And when those guys come through town, I see like I'll be the MC for some of these guys, and I'll just be like, oh my word, you're killing on a level that I am not anywhere close to. And I think that's kind of what you're talking about too, right? Like it's really easy to be like, it's almost like when you're in high school and everybody's like, you're the best.
Yeah.
Then you maybe go to college or the real world and you're like, ooh, I'm not so much.
Nah, I don't stand out as much as I used to.
Yeah. So it's kind of.
Absolutely. And I think about that a lot, honestly, just on TikTok. It's like, there is this, I was starting to say it as like a good thing. Like you have an opportunity, you can just put yourself out there. But then you also have, are you being, like, I think you said Graham had mentioned, like, are you being encouraged into mediocrity?
Oh yeah.
Like, is it just you're getting a lot of responses for stuff that's really not that funny?
Especially nothing negative about it, but especially if you work at a church, it just because you're there all the time, and so a lot of times there's just a few of the guys who are doing comedy or something like that, and it can be really easy for people to just always be praising you.
Oh yeah, right. Well, and that's terrifying to me. Like the idea of like, is TikTok just that same thing?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Because it's not being vetted through all, you don't have to stand out to the level that you have to beat out all these other people to get the one spot left to be on this show or what have you. It's just like, oh, just throw it out there. And there's a lot of people that think that's funny. Well, there's a lot of people that probably don't think that's very funny too. So who's to say? I don't know. But as an artist, I want to continue to always be getting better and grow. And so I'm just kind of like, well, I'm just going to use the tools that I do have right now and see where that leads. Yeah. So that's what I would, if you're a young person or whatever, and you're like, I would just say, start doing it. Just do it. Just keep doing it. And critiquing and thinking about how you could do it better and
find people that you trust to give you honest feedback.
Yeah. That can be painful and scary to seek out feedback because it doesn't feel good to be told like, oh, it's not that funny or whatever.
And it's probably not your mom.
Yeah.
Your mom, there's a reason they said like, oh, my mom loves it.
Yeah.
Your mom loves everything about you.
Yeah.
So anything else?
I don't think so.
Gary?
I don't have any characters. I'm still working on them.
Can we get a breakdown of Tom?
Oh my!
Where did the seed of that start?
Oh man, that is a good question. I would love to tell you, but we just don't have enough time right now. I'm looking at you know what?
But I want to hear more about. We've talked a lot about kind of what I do. I want to hear a little bit more about like, how do you write a joke? Where does the seed of a joke start? All that kind of stuff.
You know what? Let's do a whole episode on it.
I think we should.
I think it'll be awesome. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that one next.
Okay.
How to write a joke. I would love to talk about that. And you guys obviously have a lot to say about that as well. So, and maybe we can look at, I have a few jokes I'm working on. Maybe we can workshop that. That'll be fun. All right. Hey, thanks for watching or listening to the pod. We really love it. And we love you guys. If you want to help us out, you can share any of our clips. Of course, you can get on Spotify and share the podcast with your friends online. And then if you subscribe and like and comment and rate, all those things, everything helps. It all helps.
It's a good 45 minutes of homework that you need to do, going all through our different channels and liking, subscribing, and commenting.
Yeah, but listen, just do anything. Share it with a friend, and that's really helpful for us. And we're thankful for that. If you have any questions, comment, or you can email us at riskitpod@gmail.com. And I'm Adam Bush at Hey Adam Bush. And at Chris Munch Comedy.
I'm Chris Munch Comedy. Did we ever introduce ourselves? We've been talking this whole time.
Adam Bush, no. Adam Bush, Chris Munch, and the guy behind the camera,
Gary
Hornstein. We should come up with a number of like streams or subscribers that when we hit that, you could see Gary's face.
Ooh, that would be fun.
We'll think about that.
Yep.
All right.
Well, bonus
for now, why don't we have Assistant Tom, close us out?
Yeah, we can do that. Tom, the assistant. All right. Tom, the assistant, closing us out. I'll be Tom.
Okay.
And you're going to be the boss.
I'm the boss. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Tom, the assistant, closing us out.
Is Gary going to call action?
Yeah. Are you ready? Ready, Gary?
And action.
But the third quarter was rough.
Hey, boss.
Hey, Tom.
It's 5:00.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom.